The story opens with a boy regaining consciousness, trying to figure out how long he's been out cold. His mind drifts to tomorrow, his first day at university, and how he can't afford to be late. Memories flood back. A boy dragged him to this remote clearing and knocked him unconscious. That same boy sneers, mocking Ling Si, saying he's cursed to have been stuck with someone like him in high school. He doubts university will be any different. Ling Si, an orphan, has been enduring this torment for years. The bully, Hu, sarcastically calls him tough, impressed that he's still breathing after being beaten for 3 years straight. Though they were classmates in name, tormentor would be a better word for Hu. Hu mocks Ling's game avatar, saying it looks cool, unlike him in real life. He claims Ling must have made it that way to escape his real appearance. Without warning, Hu slams a fist into Ling's gut. Ling grimaces, thinking back to when this all began. It was just a harmless bump in the hallway during freshman year. He'd apologized back then, but with someone like Hu, apologies meant nothing. In this world, a phenomenon known as awakening marks the second stage of human evolution, triggered through the virtual game Heavenland. Those who reach max level early have a higher chance of their in-game character class becoming reality. These individuals, called the Awakened, gain real-life abilities from the game and are valued for their potential. They're trained, protected, and elevated to elite status. Hu is one of the Awakened. He wipes his bloody hand and sneers, calling Ling's blood filthy. One of Hu's friends warns him that Ling might die if he keeps hitting him. Hu scoffs, asking if he's grown, sympathetic toward human trash. His friend clarifies that he's not concerned about Ling. He just doesn't want any trouble for Hu. But Hu isn't worried. Someone like Ling dying wouldn't matter in their society. Ling stares at him, and Hu, irritated, lashes out. Again. He says what infuriates him the most is Ling's unshaken gaze, those eyes that won't give up. Hu then activates a skill called Rippling War Cry, a brutal warrior shout that damages both body and spirit. As the effect surges, he hurls more insults, confused why someone so worthless dares to look at him with such resolve. If only I had awakened, Ling thinks. If only I had a chance. Everything would be different. Eventually, the group decides to leave. It's gotten late. Hu complains that he didn't even get to fully stretch out and promises to finish the job next time. His friend suggests untying Ling, but Hu refuses, warning him that he'll be strung up next if he keeps talking. Alone, Ling Si dreams of a fresh start, a chance to begin anew. Somehow, he manages to untie himself and stumbles home. After washing away the dirt and blood, he notices his game helmet resting on the table. He picks it up, lies down on the bed, and slips it on. Inside the vast, digital realm of Heavenland, within its bustling main city, a player named Kasa logs in. His in-game handle is Ling Si, same as his real name. A level 120 shadow thief, Ling Si has reached the game's maximum level, a feat that reflects his relentless grind and dedication. Despite his skills, he often feels overshadowed by players who started earlier. Having joined a whole year late, he's still playing catch-up to the veterans who had a head start in exploring dungeons, acquiring rare gear, and mastering game mechanics. The day before, Ling Si managed to claim a coveted dark gold parody dagger after hours of effort. But instead of rising in the rankings, he watched himself slide further down the Thief class Global Combat Power leaderboard. Others seemed to rise. With little effort, some stumbled into undiscovered caves filled with loot. Others got carried by top-tier allies. His current rank sits at 396th place globally among thieves. It's a respectable achievement considering his late start. Between 2061 and 2062, he had maxed out his level within a year and skyrocketed from complete obscurity to a spot among the top 100,000 thieves worldwide. Still, when he thinks about the leaderboard's first page, home to the top 100 elite thieves, each practically a god in their own right, he can't help but feel discouraged. Climbing that high now feels almost impossible. As he turns away from the board, a thought gnaws at him. If only he had one more shot. Maybe, just maybe, he could awaken too. Elsewhere in the city, a group awaits Ling Si's arrival. A sharply dressed bodyguard speaks up, addressing the young woman beside him. "Miss, we really didn't need to bring outsiders in for this. The family's guild could have handled it." She waves him off. "No need to involve the family. If you hadn't tracked me down so fast, I'd already be teaming up with random players by now. But it's my duty to ensure your safety," the man insists. "There are too many shady players lurking around in Heavenland." "I'm not a child," she counters. "I know how to judge people. Besides, I took your advice and hired players instead of forming a casual party. That should be enough, shouldn't it?" She glances toward the 3 mercenaries she recruited, confident in her choices despite the bodyguard's clear disapproval. Just then, Ling Si approaches and introduces himself. "Level 120, Shadow Thief, Ling Si." The bodyguard barely acknowledges him. "We've already reviewed your file. You're here to fill a slot, so stay out of the way." Ling Si remains silent, but inwardly scoffs. He never liked excessive talking in real life, and the constant chatter in-game feels no different. Players like Hugo, always talking, always judging. Another mercenary sidles up to him, eyeing him skeptically. "I heard you're not in a guild, and you're not with the All-Class Alliance either." "Correct. I play solo," Ling Si responds. The All-Class Alliance, an elite coalition of top-tier players, is known for taking on high-risk missions in exchange for rewards. Ling Si has the skills to join, but the steep entry exam fee is beyond his means. His in-game earnings are mostly redirected toward his real-life expenses. "Solo player, huh?" the mercenary mutters. "Last thing we need is someone like that dragging us down. No affiliations, no track record. For all we know, you're just here to get carried." Ling Si doesn't respond. He's heard it all before, and he's used to proving himself the hard way. Ling Se shoots a cold glance, clearly unimpressed by the tension in the room. The atmosphere grows heavier when a girl steps forward, urging everyone to stop arguing. With everyone present, she says, "It's time to begin the mission." She's clearly concerned. If this is how things are starting, how will they handle what's to come? Trying to ease her worry, the bodyguard reassures her, promising to protect her no matter what happens. The group is finally assembled, and, with the portal active, it's time to dive in. They nominate Ling Se to enter first. One by one, the rest of the team follows. But as they step into the teleporter, something's wrong. The energy pulse isn't normal. It twists violently, sparking erratically. Confusion erupts among the group. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Is it a glitch? A system error? The strange behavior started right after Ling Si went through the portal. Meanwhile, Ling Si finds himself somewhere completely unexpected. This isn't the mission map. The air feels unstable, and he's overwhelmed by a sharp, chaotic energy. A terrible sensation creeps over him. His body feels like it's being torn apart. Panic sets in. Is the game breaking down? Is this some kind of fatal bug? He begins to fade. His body dissolves piece by piece, yet a strange calm washes over him. There's no fear, only peace. As he unravels, he feels a release, like he's been carrying a burden for far too long. He wonders if it would be so bad to just vanish completely, even outside the game. There's nothing left in his real life he wants to hold on to, even though regret still lingers in his heart. Back with the team, confusion builds. The thief still hasn't arrived. Someone checks Ling Si's account and is shocked to see it disappearing, fading like it never existed. Elsewhere, Ling Se slowly awakens. Disoriented, he blinks against the light. Something feels off. His hands look too long. Everything about his body feels alien. He stumbles to a mirror and is stunned. His reflection is that of his in-game avatar, but he's here, in the real world. A weathered old man stands beside him, quietly observing. Ling Se stares, unsure whether to be scared. The man speaks gently, saying he found him while collecting trash. Ling Se, still confused, asks where exactly this place is. The old man offers him a bowl of soup, explaining he'd been unconscious for an entire day. Ling Se's stomach growls. He hadn't realized how hungry he was. Then a voice crackles from a nearby radio. The new game Heavenland, a multinational project, has been live for 3 months and is already breaking player count records as a... The broadcast continues. Ling Se's heart skips a beat. Did they just say the year is 2060? He's stunned. That's 3 years in the future. Or, did he go back in time? He blurts out the question. The old man confirms it. Yes, it's 2060. A wave of realization crashes over Ling Se. Somehow he's been given a second chance. The thought fills him with cautious joy. Could this be the answer to his final wish before everything shattered? When the old man asks if he's okay, Ling Se smiles for the first time. I'm fine, he says. This time he vows he'll rise. He'll dominate the global rankings, become one of the strongest awakened players, and carve his name among the gods. This is his restart, and he won't waste it. Ling Se devoured the food in front of him with surprising speed. His hunger overpowered any sense of decorum. Watching him with a gentle smile, the old man chuckled. Slow down, boy. There's still more in the pot. No need to rush. Ling Se paused only briefly to respond, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. I didn't even realize how starving I was until I woke up. I'll fetch a bit more for you, the old man offered kindly, already moving toward the pot. As he ladled more stew, he glanced over and asked casually, So, are you here by yourself? Where are your parents? The question struck a chord. Ling Se's expression darkened slightly. A silence hung between them before he finally muttered, I've always been alone, as far as I can remember. His thoughts wandered. Since childhood, he'd only ever observed others with families, students being scolded by parents, others being spoiled or given pocket money. He'd never known such connections. I don't even know where this place is, he added. I just ended up here. The old man nodded in understanding. This is the city's slum area, he said plainly. To be honest, it's a last refuge for folks who can't make it out there. You could call it a sanctuary for the desperate. Ling Se looked around and took in the surroundings with new understanding. I get it, he said, almost to himself. In his past life, he'd scraped by with scholarships and meager savings. He'd rented a tiny, cheap dorm nearby, though he never ventured this deep into the slums. The old man gave a tired sigh. I used up the last of my savings a while ago, he admitted. Bought that game helmet everyone's talking about. Ling Se looked up in surprise. My son. He passed, the old man said, eyes staring into the past. Before he died, he told me about this new game, Tanyang Mainland. He said if he became one of the awakened, he could pull us out of this life. He really believed it. He chuckled, softly. Said he'd make me happy, that everything would change once he made a name for himself in the game.